To create jobs, reduce unemployment in disadvantaged areas of the state, enhance the state's tourism industry, and generate substantial revenue for public education and taxpayer relief. These are the goals of the Upstate New York Gaming Economic Development Act of 2013. Tioga Downs is the only Southern Tier Region applicant to fulfill the letter and spirit of the 2013 Act. But our devotion and commitment to the area began long before now. Jeff Garral has a lifetime devotion to New York's harness racing industry and a long family history in the Southern Tier.
I've been involved in harness racing for over 40 years, and in 2000 it became obvious to me that we needed to try to convince the governor and the legislature to allow the racetracks to have slot machines. So I got involved with the lobbying effort on the part of the horse industry, and my wife said one day, she said, "Why are you doing all of this? You don't own a racetrack." So I decided I would go try to buy a racetrack. I took a ride up to see what was going on at Tioga Downs.
This property sat vacant for 30 years, and Mr. Garral purchased the property and converted it into a successful harness racing track in the Southern Tier of New York.
Since 2006, Jeff Garral and his partners have invested $122 million into 2 economically disadvantaged counties to resurrect and rebuild 2 bankrupt businesses, Vernon Downs and Tioga Downs.
I'm standing in front of 14 Genesee Avenue, and the reason I'm here is this is where my grandparents lived, and this is the house they lived in, and this is where my mother grew up. When I came to Binghamton to visit my grandparents back then, Binghamton was thriving. It was a community that people took a lot of pride in, and it's kind of heartbreaking to see how things have turned out. There's so many empty factories and businesses that are cutting back. Obviously, it's a depressed area, jobs are tough. So to me, anything I can do to try to help the community and create jobs is a goal of mine, because I know that's something that my mother would really appreciate.
The development of the track has created many jobs that go along with the harness racing industry. In the summer, we have approximately 100 people that come and stay in the Nichols Southern Tier area. We have veterinarians, hay dealers, feed dealers, and all the other jobs that go along with the harness racing industry.
If it wasn't for my mother growing up in Binghamton, I'd never be here, but because of the connection and my strong feeling for the people who live here, I'm here. And to be honest, it's been a joy.
Nearly a decade later, Tioga Downs and Vernon Downs have created over 700 family-sustaining jobs and have supported hundreds of additional jobs through the millions spent on local goods and services.
Economic development in the Southern Tier can't leave anyone behind. Tioga Downs has been a fierce supporter of labor since day one. My name is Gary Bonadonna Jr. I'm a union representative for the labor organization Workers United, and we represent the current workforce here at Tioga Downs. The labor peace agreement that my union, Workers United, and Tioga Downs have signed further establishes the good partnership we have had and will ensure workers' rights in the future. My union wholeheartedly supports Tioga Downs receiving the Southern Tier's full gaming license.
Since reopening in 2006, Tioga Downs and Vernon Downs have contributed over $277 million in funding and taxes to the state. Tioga Downs has been a powerful catalyst for economic development and the growth of regional tourism.
Hundreds of thousands of people that come here to this region or come to this racetrack every single year looking for entertainment, looking for additional nice places to stay, some added value. Everybody wants added value when you travel. It was great this year when Tioga Downs stepped in and became a big integral part of our really VIP experience here at Watkins Glen for the Finger Lakes Wine Festival. It's the largest wine festival on the East Coast. We draw about 40,000 people during the weekend that come from all over Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Long Island, Southern Ontario. So for us to be able to have Tioga in, it's a great marriage where we're now where we have been, but now even to a bigger extent, we're sharing fans. It would be such a benefit for Watkins Glen International to have a partner just 30 minutes down the road to be able to garner all our fans. They can go off and have fun in Tioga or stay there for the evening. And that's the whole part about this economic region. You have the wine country, you have the lakes, you have the state parks, you have Tioga Downs, you have Watkins Glen International and Corning Museum of Glass, the largest producers of tourists in the area, and we all bring them here. So, you know, that's why it's the best place to have a new casino is right down the street from Watkins Glen International.
As an operator, amidst the worst economic conditions in the state, Tioga Downs generated EBITDA over the past 7 years at a compounded annual growth rate of 87%. While New York State has profited, while jobs have been created and the racing and breeding industry remains vibrant, Jeff Gural has never taken a dime in profits out of the business. As a civic and community supporter, Tioga Downs has donated over $1 million to a wide range of local and regional nonprofit organizations.
I am here outside the Ernie Davis Community Center, a division of the Economic Opportunity Program, and we would just like to say how much we appreciate Tioga Downs for supporting us in 3 ventures that we have: our food giveaway, our snack pack for our Head Start 3- and 4-year-olds, and part of our summer feeding program. Thank you, Tioga Downs, for all of your support for our community and our children.
I'm Carl Beardsley, and on behalf of the Greater Binghamton Airport, I'd like to thank Mr. Jeff Gural, who sponsored 2 wonderful community events. Mr. Gural sponsored an honor flight giving dozens of elderly veterans a free trip to Washington, D.C. to visit all of the war monuments in our nation's capital and then get a hero's welcome at the airport when they returned. Not only was it a bright spot for the community, but it was also a day that many of them won't soon forget. Mr. Gural also stepped up to the plate and helped us return one of the most anticipated summer events to Broome County. His sponsorship of the Greater Binghamton Air Show allowed thousands of people the chance to see a variety of planes take to the skies of Broome County and show off with fabulous aerobatics. Neither of these events would have been possible if it wasn't for his support.
In 2011, we launched our first capital campaign to move into a new facility that would allow us to distribute more food throughout our 6 counties. And Tioga Downs was one of the first companies to step up and help us start reaching that goal. At the end of the campaign, things were looking a little bit tight, and Mr. Gural personally stepped up and helped push us over our goal to make sure that we could get into our facility and continue distributing food throughout our 6 counties.
About 4 years ago, Jeff had an idea to try to give back to the community, and he picked veterans as one way to do that. He had the idea to have a concert so that not only could he get the community involved, but he could also raise money and give back to us. In the 4 years that we've had the annual concert, Tioga Downs has raised and donated to us over $335,000. Tioga Downs is really a company that can be trusted with this economic development. I'm so happy to be able to make this testimonial and just tell you all the great work they've done for our community on behalf of the veterans.
Our accomplishments are evidence of how genuine our relationships are and how trusted a civic partner Tioga Downs is in the Southern Tier. Precisely the type of company and people all New Yorkers should want advancing this important economic development initiative. The Tioga Downs team is passionate about continuing the mission we started nearly a decade ago with the award of a full gaming license.